Hey guys, on today's episode we're getting the Crewcab Highboy's frame prepped for sandblasting and coating, so let's get after it. Hey guys, as you just saw, I've set the cab down on the two-wheel drive frame for our Crewcab Highboy project. The reason we did that is the cab and the bed and everything's ready to go to the body shop, and all of their dollies are full, so they asked if we could put it back on the two-wheel drive frame so they could roll it around the shop and yank on the body and everything. So we put an axle under the back end of this thing and put the front I-beams back on it so we could roll this thing around, and we set the cab back on the frame. We had to use a piece of wood back here because if you remember, we took the rear cab mounts off of this to make it work on that Highboy frame. But since it's sitting down here on the frame, you can see the sandblast job a little better. I think it turned out pretty good. We have a few more spots to fix than originally we thought we had. There's a little bit right there in the window, and there's some spots showing up on the roof like that right there. Not terrible, but majority of the holes are in the floorboards here, which are, considering what it could be, that's not too bad. You know, the floors are a very common rust spot on these old trucks. They like to leak. All the water that gets in here, if they sit outside, it'll drip down here and collect under the floor mat, and then it'll just corrode from the top down. So that's pretty common on these things, on the regular cabs and the crew cabs. So there's little spots right here. The crew cabs, that's a good spot to check if you're looking at one, is they always like the rust right there on the roofs. But we're gonna get this thing loaded on the trailer whenever they say they're ready for it, and we'll be taking it to the body shop. We have the bed sitting on here as well. We have just a couple of bed bolts in it to keep it secured down so they can work on it. The bed is fairly rough, but hopefully it'll turn out all right, and they'll be able to fix a lot of it, because this is a short bed. They're not that easy to come by. But anyway, guys, we'll be getting this thing to the body shop. Well, we have the truck all loaded up on the trailer, getting ready to go to the body shop. The rear doors are still over there. We have to put them on here. But I think we're going to set this hood off. I don't think we're taking it. We actually just got a truck at an auction that has a better hood, and we might be using it. See, this one has a bunch of dings and stuff. This isn't actually the hood that goes with this truck. This is a different one we had. The one with this truck had some rust under it, so I think we're going to be just setting this hood off, and we might be changing out this passenger side door because it's so rough. We might be getting a different one. But hey guys, well, I have the frame for the Crewcab Highboy up here. Got it sitting up on some jack stands out here so we can do some work to it. Reason I have it up here is because I got to do a bunch of grinding and cutting and doing it outside of the shop, and it's pretty nice out, so keep a lot of that metal dust out of the shop. We're going to end up replacing both front and rear spring hangers. I'm just going to cut these rivets off, knock them out, and we'll be replacing these because the spring bushings have wore into here. See how thin this is here? The actual leaf spring itself has worn into the bracket here, and it's just made that bracket where I wouldn't want to use it on this level of truck, this level of restoration. So you could certainly repair that if you wanted to, and you can actually buy these new, but I have another truck here that I'm not going to be using the frame on, and it's a 350, so it has the same brackets as a Highboy. So I'm going to be taking those off of that frame, and hopefully they're good to go. This one here is a little worse. You can see how it just ate away on the inside there, and you could most certainly machine this out and fix this right here and make it look good, but the level of work of doing that is probably going to be higher than just replacing them with those other ones we got. So as long as they're good, I think we'll use those. And this one here, see the back there is the same way. It just egged out, just massive hole there, so that's never going to work good. So we got to repair those. Got to finish cutting the frame off to the exact length for the short bed, and have some pieces to weld in here. Fix that piece right there and weld that in right there. I have to finish welding the bottom. I didn't weld the bottom of this thing yet because it was too low to the ground. I was hoping to get it up on the lift and weld that, but may not have the lift open up by the time it needs to go, so I may be welding on the ground, which is alright. I got to fix this front cross member here is a little beat up. I'm going to try to straighten that out right there and right there. I'm going to try to straighten that out a little bit, as well as this motor mount perch. It's broke apart right here. I think I'm going to end up cutting all this out and welding in a new piece right there to fix that. So once you get all that taken care of, this and the axles and all the brackets and stuff are going to go to the place that did the meaty blast on the body. They're going to blast this whole frame and epoxy coat it, and the axles and everything too. And or over here we have this cab here. This is one that we've had out back forever. I think my dad actually bought it in the mid to late 80s for the doors, and his 67 Highboy. These are the original doors off of that. As you can tell, they're 67 by the grab handle and the armrest. They had seen better days and getting wore out, and he bought this cab just for the doors back when these things weren't worth nothing. The guy he got it from had cut the back end off and make a pickup bed trailer out of it, sadly. And this truck was a Ranger, which is pretty cool. You can tell that by that on the glove box there's those holes that would have had a Ranger badge. It has trim around the glove box. It has wood grain here, so has a lot more trim than a normal truck does. Has trim around this, trim around the back glass, which isn't very common. The trim around the front glass is pretty common. Get you a better shot of that glove box. That would have had a Ranger badge right there. But anyway, I'm going to use this truck. We're going to take this truck to the body shop, and any pieces like the crew cab is rusted out right here. We'll probably cut, they'll probably cut that out, and some other spots where they need little pieces and stuff. We thought this would be a good cab for them to grab stuff out of it they need. It's the floor looks good in here, but it's kind of rusty underneath. The cab corners down here are rusted out. The support under the floor here is rusted out. The cab mounts are rusted out, so it's on its way out. It's donating its life for that crew cab, so it'll have a good ending anyway. But we also went and got another truck. We bought a truck, and this was complete when we got it. This was a complete truck other than the engine. We had to pull the front clip off and pull the engine out of it because it had a really built up 460 in it, and we didn't need that. And we negotiated with the seller to sell it without the engine. So we pulled the engine out when we went and picked this thing up. So we had to pull the front clip off. It had some good doors on it and a really good bed. And the bed's the main reason we bought it, because it's a short bed. And the short bed that's came with our crew cab, if you remember on the previous episodes, is pretty beat up. So this thing was really nice shape, really good bed. So we took this off. I didn't get it on film, but we took it off, and it's at the actual blasters right now, getting blasted and primed, so they can work on it. And same thing with the doors. These doors were a little bit better shaped than the ones we had, so we might as well use these doors. Be saving on body work. And got a lot of little parts with this thing too. It has a really nice dash pad, which is pretty uncommon for these things. I think it's an original dash pad. It's not a replacement. This truck, it came with a Marty report, and it had factory shoulder harnesses, which was pretty rare. I think it was 300 and something was the only ones in 69. I think this was. There's only 300 and something with factory shoulder harnesses, and this was a factory special paint, and it has this green color, which I haven't seen before. I don't know if it was a fleet order or what, but it had factory special paint and no paint designation on the door tag. So pretty neat truck. It unfortunately has rust on a lot of the cab. There's some rust in the cab mounts, and the floors show rust in them. There's some holes in the floors, but it's not bad otherwise. I'm not sure what we're going to be doing with this thing. We might be just selling it, putting it back together with all the parts we have, and selling it as is as a project. But it's pretty neat. Let's see. Yeah, here's the Marty report if you've never seen one. Let's see, 371 with factory shoulder harnesses, 2,900 with special paint trim codes. So it's not overly rare, not like some of the crew cabs we got, but it's neat to see the Marty report sold in Oklahoma City, and that says it was a retail sale, so I think that means it was custom ordered and not fleet, because I have a railroad truck that was ordered, a Union Pacific Railroad truck, and I got the Marty report on it, and it says fleet there instead of retail. So they could also have been stock, which would have been like your that'd been like dealer lot kind of a truck. But I guess this right here is where we keep our black trucks, because this is the donor truck for the frame, the Highboy frame we got. This neat little truck, we might be selling it at some point, but not right now because we don't have the parts to put it back together. But I'm gonna get working on that frame, and we'll get after that. Well guys, I got most of everything done on the frame I need to do out here. I'm gonna move it inside where I can weld on it. Up here at the front, I got this front cross member a little smoothed out a little bit. It was dented in right here and right here, like somebody picked it up with some forks or something at some time. And then up here at the perch for the engine mount there, I got that piece cut out and a new piece cut out to be welded in there. So that's ready to weld, other than cleaning it up. And I have several cracks. There's a crack there, there's a crack here, and a crack here, and there's one, that weld is cracked there. Some stuff like that I need to go over and find all the little spots like that and weld them up. Let's see, got the spring hangers all taken off there. Got the rivets knocked out. There's the hanger on the ground. These pieces back here, I got these cut out a little bit nicer, and some patch panels, some patch pieces made. I gotta weld those in, and I have the frame cut off to the right length for the short bed. So yeah, I gotta get this thing, I'm gonna bring it in the shop there where I can weld on it and get it prepped for welding. And then I gotta get these brackets cut off of that other frame, and then we'll be putting this thing together, and it'll be ready to go get blasted. So I'll get after that, and I'll show you guys after I get everything all finished up and welded. Well guys, we're getting the frame further along, ready for sandblasting. Have the brackets pulled off of that other frame I have. So got those pulled off, and they go right here. And we'll be bolting those back on. But I think what we're going to do is have them coated separately, so that the underside of this and the part right here gets coated as well, and then we'll bolt them together so there's not a spot there for corrosion to start if anything moisture ever gets behind those brackets, so it's all coated and sealed up. So I think we're gonna do that. We'll just have these sandblasted and coated separately. Have the I got the frame chopped off there at the right spot, and I welded in some patches there for that frame and bent this frame back. Got that all lined back up. What else did I do? Finished welding the underside of the welds on the splice there where we spliced the frame. I didn't have the undersides welded. Got a lot of the damaged areas up here fixed. Patched this spot right here on the engine mount, and a few cracks on this cross member here fixed up. Also, the front leaf spring brackets were wallered out, and the hole was oblong, so I welded in some thick weld-in washers there to get us a nice round 9/16 hole again on both sides, inside and outside. So then we won't have a loose bolt there, or the bolt will be in the correct location at least. So getting along good with it. Pretty close to getting ready to send this thing off. We're gonna take some more stuff off that we can, like this transmission cross member, the shock brackets, the engine pedestals. We're gonna take that stuff off and have them coated separately, so that all the pieces that we can get 100% coated. But it's almost ready. Once I get it out of the shop, I'm gonna flip it over and grind the bottom side where I can get to it real good. Then it will be ready to go. So we'll send this thing off to powder coat, and you guys will see it when it gets back. Hey guys, well, we got the bed, hood, and a couple extra doors back from sandblasting. This is that new bed we got off that black truck. It's in a lot nicer shape, as you can see. There's a little bit cut out right here. I'm not sure what that was about, but that not too bad to fix. A little busted out right there, but overall it is in a lot better shape than the other bed. So here's the hood. Same thing with it. It has just a few less dents in it than the other one. It was a lot better hood, so we thought we'd use that one. Doors are in the back of the truck here. Pretty good doors. So yeah, we have to get this stuff over to the body shop, and we got this junk hood here we're going to take as well, so they can rob some pieces off of that if they need to. So hey guys, where the frame is almost ready for powder coat and sandblasting, not necessarily in that order, but we're placing these bushings here for the leaf spring, and we got this one installed, and this one's given us some problems. We've already ruined one bushing trying to get it in there. We have one here that we've been trying to put in. It seemed to be about 40 thousandths bigger than the hole, so one we put in there, it mushroomed the end of the the sleeve out here, and couldn't get it to go anymore, so we had to knock it out. Got another one, and it was the same way, it wouldn't go in. So we have the inside all cleaned up, and I've been working on this on the lathe, and taking a little, thousandths off at a time, trying to get it to start going in there. But it's not wanting to go in at all, and 40 thousandths is quite a bit for a press fit. So I got to work on this some more and see if we can skim some more off of this and get it to go in there. Hey guys, well, I was working on this this bushing here for the shackle bushing that goes in the frame, and I actually got the cutting tools out and started doing some real cutting, moving some material with this lathe. Machined this one down to the right size, and I was flipping it around to machine this side, and my clamping load got a little high and deformed the outside sleeve on this thing. Not sure I was real happy with the outcome anyway, because that sleeve was getting awful thin, so that's part of the reason it deformed it. But I also got a little carried away with the clamping load trying to get this thing squared up in there, so that's why that happened. But I got a new one, and I got a different manufacturer from a different manufacturer right here, and see if I can get the measurement where you guys can see it. 1.2525, and the hole is 1.250, by the way. And this one, let me get the side I haven't machined yet. 1.2810. So you know, this one was a lot bigger round, and we had screwed up too trying to get it in there. So got this different one. This is actually a Dayton. I can't remember the part number, but I got it off Rock Auto. They were kind of hard to find. I'm not sure what those were. Those came from the same place that rebuilt our leaf springs. So they seem to be either the wrong part, or the quality control on whoever manufactures those is not great. But got these ones. This is actually a spare. The other one's already in the frame. I went ahead and bought two because they're really not that expensive, and I thought, well, we've been screwing so many up, might as well get two instead of one at a time. But got the other one in there, and it went right in, no problem. And no modifications to the bushing, just, you know, hammered it in like normal. There's the other one. That one went in really hard. That's one of the ones that's a little bit bigger, and it's in there. It took a lot of big hammer action to get that thing in there. But other than that, the frame is pretty much ready to go. Gonna get it outside and flip it over, and I gotta grind these welds, get those to where they're gonna look good. Other than that, I think it's ready to go to sandblast. So once we get that thing sandblasted and coated and back here, then we can start assembly, get the thing assembled, and do brake lines and wiring harnesses and all that kind of stuff, and we'll have a assembled frame ready to go together. Well guys, that does it for this episode. The Crewcab Highboy project is coming along great. I can't wait to get this thing back from powder coat and start final assembly on it. That's going to be fun, and getting this frame all factory new condition is going to be fun. You'll see it here. So like this video, subscribe, tell your friends. See you on the next one. Thanks guys.